CASSE is a new non-profit organisation dedicated to creating safe, supportive environments free from bullying and violence using psychoanalytic approaches. In adopting psychoanalytic principles, CASSE's approach is therefore different from other anti-bullying programs, which tends to focus on the problem behaviour such as bullying and suggest ways of responding to it. CASSE's approach has two key elements. Firstly, its approach is to encourage thinking and reflecting in the community. Secondly, by thinking and reflecting, each community will come to understand the hidden underlying dynamics that leads to bullying and violence. CASSE's approach is therefore proactive and preventative. It aims to build resilience in school communities and equips them to respond creatively to traumatic situations, conflict, and also help them to address other issues if unaddressed could lead to bullying and violence.
What's different about our model is that there's a psychoanalytic approach to bullying, and we look at a triadic model, so that rather than just looking at the victim and the bully, we're actually interested to think about the victim, bully and the bystander, as well as understanding in detail the power issues and the power struggles that go on. And we're aware that a capacity to think and reflect and be empathic towards others' situations is really quite crucial in terms of promoting an environment where bullying and violence aren't going to occur, at least a lot less often.
Before the CASSE program, Bloom and Christie was a school where there was bullying on the playground that we weren't aware of. There was bullying that we were aware of. Since the introduction of CASSE, it's been a whole school approach, so that the children, the families, the staff and even the wider community are involved in our CASSE program. I think the CASSE approach has made such a difference because the children are involved. We've empowered the children to help other children. That's the main thing. The other part is that staff have been given time to prepare, to work with the children and to encourage the CASSE program throughout the whole school. And the language you use in the school, we're all talking about, were you being an upstander? When that happened, what could you have done? Thinking about what happened yesterday, how could you improve? How could you have done it differently? So we're teaching them to mentalise, to think, to reflect. There's been a wonderful impact on the school and the staff and the children since the introduction of CASSE. The children have really taken on board because they were so excited about being selected. They were selected because they were what were deemed natural leaders. Now, natural leaders aren't always the children who are good all the time. They are children with character and children with leadership skills. So we chose children from grade 3 to 6 who had these natural abilities. It was a unanimous decision amongst the staff who these children should be on the committee, and because they were selected that way, they are excited, their parents are excited and the staff are excited. The highlight of the CASSE program at Bloom and Christie has been the Junior School Council. It's just been wonderful to see the children develop and to share their skills and their ideas with the staff and with other children. And wherever we go in life, there are bullies, whether we like it or not. So if we equip children with the right skills to be assertive, to be an upstander, to know the right thing, to be respectful, hopefully that will flow on to their family and to the wider community as well.
Before we had this program at our school, there was bullying. Children didn't know how to express themselves, and I think a lot of their situations were dealt with in a more physical way.
Before the CASSE program was developed, school was a lot different compared to it is now.
Everyone kept fighting and bullying each other.
Well, the school wasn't very peaceful and there was a lot of people that felt
like they'd been left out and they didn't really want to come to school. And it wasn't a very safe environment.
There's a lot of fights and people weren't respecting each other.
Pretty much every day someone was going home sad.
The main thing about this program is the power dynamics between the bully, victim and the bystander. So we really do focus on the kids becoming upstanders. The way that they do that is share their experiences where they've been a bystander, a bully or a victim, and then working out how they can change that around and become an upstander. One thing I know that we've all learnt from it is if there is no bystander, there's no bully and there's no victim. It totally squashes the whole power dynamic.
An upstander is someone who not defeats it but tells the bully it's not right to be doing this. And if you're an upstander, you're brave because you're not scared to go up to this person and say, stop, this isn't right.
An upstander is where you tell the bully or everybody else that you're not doing the right thing and it's time to stop it. People are thinking about what they're doing, they're not doing stuff and then thinking about what they've done afterwards and feeling regret. And sometimes they do it for attention. If people don't know that bullying's not okay in life, then they'll take it on and it might grow into a bigger situation. They might take it into high school, they might even take it into the world.
I think it's successful because it's about modelling how to listen, modelling how to talk to someone in a respectful way, giving kids a voice to be able to say how they're feeling and the teachers actually listening to what they're saying. I think it's successful because it involves the children. They are the biggest part of it, and because it comes from them, the other kids want to do it as well.
I think it's also been such a success because it all comes from the kids. It's the kids who decide what needs to be done and it's the kids who go out and do it. We talk to them and support them, but they're the real teachers in this because they're teaching all the other children how to approach and how to talk about things.
Some of the skills that I think I have is to help people on the playground if they're feeling down, and if there's nobody that I'll go up to some people and ask, do you have anybody to play with if they're alone? And if they don't, I'll say, oh, do you want me to help find somebody for you to play with, or you can even play with me?
The skills that the students have learnt in the Student Council help them at home, at school, and especially the grade 6s who'll be going off to high school. We've actually spoken to them about what they've learnt that's going to help them in the future or help them now but outside of school, because they talk about school a lot and we say, well, what about outside of school? And they use examples of what situations they've used on their siblings, even their parents. And the grade 6s have said when they go to high school they hope to continue this.
I think it's important because the skills that they learn in primary school and in early childhood are skills that they carry with them for the rest of their lives. This is definitely a great program for any school to adopt. The advice that I would give them is to definitely take on board the idea of natural leadership and look at those children who you might not necessarily think of. I think the other bit of advice I'd give is let the children be your guide. Don't take over and tell them to do this and to do that, because they're the ones who are in the playground and they're the ones that are coping with everything that happens. They know what's happening, and as I learnt, just because you're a teacher doesn't necessarily mean that you know what's happening in the schoolyard. So listen to them and support them, but don't take over from them, learn from them. And I guess for principals it would be give the teachers who are working with the council or whatever you choose to do in your school, give them the time, because it does take time to set up and it does take time for the children to trust you and to trust each other. And we were very lucky when we were given that time, and that's why it's been a success.
If there was one message I could convey to other principals considering the CASSE program, it would be that it's simple. It covers all the things we want to do as a principal. We want our children to have skills for life. We want our children to learn about respect. We want them to be assertive. And this program, the CASSE program, I don't even like calling it a program, is a whole way of being for our school. It gives teachers time to plan, teachers time to meet with children. It helps the whole school have one approach.